Good morning, everybody. Auronnj Jayy here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to talk about King Mont. We're going to put together some teams that are good against a lot of what you're going to see, that made sense, in the current meta. We're going to have some water teams, we're going to have some fire teams, we're going to show off ways you can win with King Mont. Let's get to that right now. Okay, let's start by talking about one of my favorite King Mont groups right now, and that's King Mont plus water units, which seems kind of weird because King Mont's a fire unit, but water units really strong right now, especially if you started during Final Fantasy X or played during Final Fantasy X and got Tidus. Essentially, the crux of this group is you have a tank, King Mont in this case, because that's kind of the focus of the video. You could substitute another tank if you wanted to, though, plus Tidus plus another water unit. Now, I'm choosing Ildira right here for the sustain, for more water damage, but let's check out the party ability buffs that we're getting. First of all, we're getting fire attack resist for our water units. That will help when we're targeting other King Monts, because what this group really excels at is killing the enemy King Mont. It's kind of a counter to King Mont group. You get it. Okay, you also get water attack up. Leviathan, super interesting here. You're getting water unit area resist up 20 and pierce attack resist up 20. There are a lot of King Mont plus 9S groups running around. I think specifically to try and combat the amount of Tiduses that are coming after the King Monts. With Leviathan in the group, you are essentially mitigating 9S 2 times. Because the 9S is always going to have to target your tank if it's King Mont, because he has so much freaking hate. So if he's hitting your Tidus or your Ildira, he's hitting him with AoE attacks. You're mitigating that in 2 ways, through pierce attack resistance and AoE resistance. So it kind of puts 9S as the counter to Tidus or whatever. No, not anymore. Put that on the sidelines. Okay, you're also getting a ton more water buffs like max HP up, slash attack up, and crit hit rate up. Really strong, really unlocking the Tidus and also unlocking the Ildira. If you didn't want to run Ildira, there's other good options here. Winter Victoria, Winter Ramada, Glaciella is a good option, Crazy's a good option, Miranda. There's a lot of good water units that you could pop in for that. If you're missing one of these vision cards, you could go look for a card we all got for free, thanks for the votes, which is going to give water unit water attack up, accuracy up, and damage limit up. Probably not going to hit for 12k, but that's a good alternative to one of these cards. Or just plug and play what you need to. Okay, that's the theory behind it. As far as skills go, the only thing you want to do is make sure Tidus is not taunting blading. You need King Mont to have the hate this whole time. Let's go watch a fight, and we're going to fight a 9S team specifically to just watch how this plays out. Alright, so let's throw this team into a fight, and keep in mind, you get to pick who you fight when you're on offense in Guild Wars, or when you're arena, any of that. So what we're picking here is King Mont, right? This team is built to kill King Mont, plus we're built to resist piercing, and we're built to resist AoE, so even if that happens to be 9S, we're not worried about it. Good. So this is kind of the ideal fight for us. Let's see how it plays out. We're going to keep in mind a couple things here. Anytime you're on this current Guild Wars map, which is what we're fighting on, you have a lot of early turn manipulation you can do. So we want our Tidus using bells, we want our King Mont buffing himself, and we want Ildira going third, so she can drop this limit break right here, give us that CT up, get us more turns before we engage into the enemy. Perfect. Now the enemy team's going to do their thing, they're going to buff, they're going to, have their early turn planned out a little bit too. That's whatever, we're not worried about that. We're worried about our buffs. Now watch this turn. Tidus is going to start channeling Haste Aga, and then King Mont's going to run next to him. Perfect. Now they'll both get hasted. Again, we will get on the enemy with more turns, with more buffs up. That's perfect. Okay, third important thing. King Mont separated from Tidus. So he's tanking by himself right now, which is ideal. Tidus going to close that gap. Jack shot, big damage on the enemy King Mont right there. Meanwhile, they're still buffing and trying to get in range. Ildira is safely back by herself, and we're just going to chew through this King Mont before the fight even starts. Their tank already down, and now, in fact, we land a disable onto Kayn. I mean, GG. What are they even going to do at this point? Kayn's courage is now popped. Okay, he's just going to move around because he's disabled. Ildira's like, look at me, I'm helping. She kills Kayn. That's cool. Now, here's the test. 9S. That was decent damage from 9S, but it didn't kill Tidus. Now we can just focus on cleaning this up. Titus and Mont not standing next to each other anymore. Here comes the limit break from 9S. Again, still targeting Mont, who is super tanky. He's not even taken enough damage to this point to trigger Ildira's heals. Like, this is the potential of this unit. This is the potential of this team comp. If this was an actual Guild Wars and not just a practice, we would be very, very healthy going into Fight 2 with Ildira able to just top off Titus before he gets in there. Really good. Let's go look at another team, though. Okay, now it's time to take a look at my current favorite group for guild battles for Arena right now. This, in my opinion, is the strongest team I have put together yet, just generally speaking. So, here's what we got. We got King Mont in slot 1. The first thing I want to point out is that he's running Siren. Now, Siren is really, really, really good for the current meta because it's going to give Mont a couple things. One, he's going to pick up some water resist to help against all the Tituses and Ildiras and Winter Victoras floating around. And he's going to pick up a lot of slash resist to, again, help with Titus, help with Auronnj, Gilgamesh, all these slashers that are out there. The goal of this group, though, is not just to make Mont super tanky, it's to specifically counter ice teams, or a team that is like a tank, an ice DPS, and a healer, something like that. We're doing that through these buffs. Ifrit gives an additional 20% ice resist to your fire units. That's going to be Raldor here, that's going to be Mont, and then they are fire units, which is the natural counter to ice, right? Duh. And there's not a lot of like pugilist counter in this game right now through vision cards and espers, so we should just be able to punch our way through them with Raldor, etc. Okay, let's go watch this play out in some fights. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so let's show this team comp off in a fight that we're this is a pretty common team you're seeing right now, and this is a defense that has been performing really well for our guild. You have Titus, Auronnj, Yuna. It is the Final Fantasy X meme team that is still hanging around. So how does our fire team actually hold up against that? Well, we're going to watch it play out. The thing here is your early turns can still be predictable. This group is going to get Mont way out in front early, which is exactly where you want him to be. Raldor is going to start bringing up the rear and hopefully arrive after the enemy team has unloaded their entire first round of attacks onto Mont, and then they're either running lower on AP or they're out of their limit break, stuff like that. Okay, enemy still buffing and moving forward, Mont doing all of his really good buffs, and here we go. Auronnj going to drop the limit break on Mont. This Mont, built for slash resist, built for anti-ice, takes 638 damage from the Auronnj limit break. Like, you're gonna live with that. Now, enemy team cheering on or whatever, Raldor still working his way in, make sure his punch and buff is fully online. Mont gonna drop his limit break. It's time to bring King Elda back from the grave and drop a meteor on Auronnj here. Okay, doesn't kill him, but does make him berserk, so Auronnj not using skills anymore, just slapping at Mont, and actually did more damage with his auto attack than he did with his limit break. Now let's rewind a second here. That was really important what just happened. Watch this Titus damage. 651 damage from Titus. You're going to take that on your Mont all day. In fact, the Yuna is considerably more frustrating to deal with this build than the Titus is, even though Titus widely considered like a counter to King Mont. If you build Siren, if you stack the right resist, you know, you can really overcome that, and I think that's what this is showing off. Their Yuna is the scariest unit for us, but with Auronnj, Berserk, and Titus, well, let's see what Titus got here. He's got no AP is what he's got. So, it's Raldor's turn, Chasm Render coming out. Now, he's at an element disadvantage against Titus, but still drops about 1400, so Titus is effective, but he can't kill us, and that's the important thing. We have Yuna to keep us topped off, and we're nice and grouped up for these, oh no, Yuna's like, yo, I ain't worried about healing anymore. It's time for the Space Chicken Laser, and Auronnj's out of the fight, Titus really low, Delay Buster, 686 damage onto Auronnj, or onto Mont. And then he's dead. Raldor just punches him in the face, and things are looking really, really good. Yuna's heal is going to fizzle, and we're just going to watch the rest of this fight play out. Like, Yuna is definitely the most threatening unit on the enemy team, and Yuna is really good, but if you can take a team that's Auronnj, Titus, Yuna, and have the biggest threat on that team just be Yuna, you're gonna feel pretty good about your chances of winning. So, okay, there's Yuna problems right there. When you auto-attack her and her HP actually goes up, Aeon Bond does not proc that time, and Rowler just gonna, put her down with the fist. So, there you go. You can see how just some smart building can really overcome a team that otherwise might give you a problem. Okay, that's the video for today. I hope even if you can't copy these teams that I made, that you can kind of see the process I was using when I was making these teams. I had specific things that I wanted to go beat in mind, and I put together teams to go beat those things. Like for ice teams, I have my Raldor Mont like fire punching team that'll just go punch through Auronnj and Gilgamesh and all those guys. And I covered Mont's weaknesses to Titus through Siren. That's team building in this game. That's how theory crafting works, and it's my favorite part of this game. With my Titus team that I built, it was all about powering up my Titus, keeping him safe by having King Mont like get out in front and do some tanking. Things like that. That's how you can win in PvP in this game. If you have a build you really want to see, like drop a comment down there. I'd be happy to chat about it with you, or maybe make a video about it sometime. Heck, I'd love to put out just little short videos that are a theory craft or a team build or something like that. So let me know in the comments. If you want to support the channel, Amazon coin affiliate link down in the chat. Kind of a dead time for spending right now, so you all do what you got to do. I'm out of here for today. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll catch you next time. Later.